All right, a lot of you probably know we have an investment property we've been trying to sell for a little while, and we put up little signs all over the neighborhood for owner financing, and I've been getting a lot of calls coming in, which is great. Some of those calls, however, speak Spanish, and I don't speak fluent Spanish, so I wanted to test something cool and set up a voice AI chatbot built in high level to answer all of those incoming calls, and it's actually starting to work. So I'm going to show you how I built the entire chatbot, and then I'm also going to show you an example of an incoming call that came in. The voice AI handled it perfectly. It sent out a text message with all the details about the property and everything right on this video, so check it out. All right, here I am inside of our high level dashboard, and I just want to kind of show you some of the results first, and then I'll play an example of one of the calls, which is really cool, and then we'll show you actually how to build this thing. So here I am inside of high level, and you can see if I scroll down, I blurred out a lot of the people who called in their names and everything. Let me actually shrink my head down a little. So you can see this action triggered here. What's happening is people are calling in, and when they have questions, the AI is sending out a link with all of the details of the property. So that's been happening pretty frequently, which is great. And I haven't found anybody that has had uh, um, a bad experience or didn't want to continue with the call or said, uh, speak to a representative or anything that you would expect. Everyone has basically had a back and forth conversation with the AI caller, which is really cool. So I'll just show you a couple things here. Most of the calls are lasting about a minute, which is good. You can see a summary here. This is, let me click on this. So at the end of these calls, you basically get a little summary of what's happening here. I'll show you another cool version of what's happening with this summary as well, how it's getting texted to me, which is great. There's also the actual transcript, so you can see the back and forth between everybody. And then you can tell if it's a up or down call, meaning it was a good call or a bad call. You can hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. This one, this was just me testing it down here, and it for some reason didn't have access to the property information, so I fixed that in the next features here. So let me show you an example of this actual call, and you can hear the recording of it. Okay, here is the actual recording of one of the calls that came in. I'm not going to play the entire thing because it is in Spanish, and I don't want to reveal any personal information that I don't know what he's saying here. So let's just see.
Hello, this is Emma, an AI assistant for Jason Edwards at Real Broker. Are you calling about one of our homes for sale?
Buenos días, buenos días. ¿Hablan español?
Sí, claro. Hablo español. ¿En qué puedo ayudarle hoy?
Ando buscando una casa de dueño a dueño, que el dueño me la financié. ¿Cómo podría ser con ustedes el negocio?
Entendido. Tenemos una propiedad disponible con financiamiento directo del dueño. Está ubicada en el 3.
Okay, so it goes on to he tells a little bit about himself and everything, and ends up sending a text message out to him with the property details, and then we followed up with him. Unfortunately, this particular guy wasn't able to afford that monthly payment that we had, but just seeing the back and forth with a Spanish speaker basically flawlessly. I know it sounds like somebody that doesn't fluently speak Spanish, but still, it was able to carry on an entire conversation with him, which is phenomenal. Now this is a recording of something that happened yesterday while we were out with the family at a little kind of amusement park game room type of place. And so we weren't able to even answer this call, and it handled it flawlessly. I changed the voice a little bit and a little bit of the prompting, but let's just check this one out.
Hello, this is Emma with Jason Edwards' office at Real Broker. Are you calling about one of our homes for sale?
Yes,
Great. Are you inquiring about the property
the one,
or owner financing at 3,000?
yes, the one in Katy.
Got it. You're asking about the property in Katy at 3,000.
Okay, so it goes back and forth, and basically it has him receive a text message with all the property details, and now we're communicating with him over text. But just showing you the power of this. This particular bot took me maybe maybe 10 minutes to set up, which is great, and it's handling a lot of the incoming call traffic that I was getting, and especially most valuably when somebody speaks Spanish, it can easily translate. This voice that I selected, I'll show you all the setup in a second. This voice handles the Spanish side even better than the original one that I set up. So let me show you that side. Okay, so this is the agent that I set up. I just named her Emma. She works for Jason Edwards at Real Broker. The voice I use is this Hope voice. It does say English American female, but in my opinion, spoke Spanish really well, especially with the accents and everything. So let's just play a sample here.
Um, okay, so this might sound silly, but I just got this weird, sparkly feeling in my chest, and I think I'm actually falling in love.
Okay, so the demo is a little more slow and I guess carefree than the actual example when it actually plays. One thing I did select is this multilingual English and Spanish. So I'll show you a demo of that in a second. But let's just do a test call here.
Hello, this is Emma with Jason Edwards' office at Real Broker. Are you calling about one of our homes for sale?
Do you speak Spanish?
Claro que sí. ¿Puedo ayudarte en español? ¿En qué puedo asistirte hoy?
So pretty cool, huh? So you can see that it handles Spanish really well, which is a big benefit. It also will handle other languages as well. And then one other thing I wanted to show you was this goal here. So I just gave it some of the property details. You can put an entire like knowledge base in here. So I did that about our particular property. I'd say 99% of the calls that we're getting are about this one property. So that's why I made it more specific, because the only people that are calling that number are calling about this property. But I just used ChatGPT to kind of modify a prompt here. You can just go through and look at the example prompt that High Level gives you, and then put your own details of whatever you're trying to get the call to accomplish there, and it will do it in there. And then after or during the call, I have it send a text message. If the user would like us to send them a text message with the property details, I just have a landing page built into High Level that it will automatically send a text message out to them. And then at the very end of the call, let me show you what happens. Okay, so at the end of the call, what I'm having happen is it sends me a text message out basically summarizing what happened on the call so I can see if it's somebody that's trying to sell me something or somebody that had a question about the property or that the AI receptionist said that I was going to call them back or whatever the case may be. I can just see what happens here and respond to them. So it says, your voice AI assistant handled the call. Here's what happened. And it gives me a summary of what happened. And this is the one that just went through there. So what are the plans for this? We're going to continue obviously using it for our own properties, but now that I'm confident that these things are working, we're going to be able to do an after hours receptionist for a lot of local businesses around here. We have a dental client that's right down the street that we're going to be setting this up for because they are closed on Wednesdays and Sundays, and they get a ton of calls on those days that their staff has to then come in on Thursdays and Mondays and spend most of the day in between patients coming in calling all those people back and booking them on a calendar. So we can go in and offer this thing for them for a few $100 a month, $500 a month, and call it a day and do this for a lot of other local businesses as well. We don't want to replace their staff necessarily, but we want to help their staff be more efficient. So if they're getting a ton of calls after hours, we can use our AI assistant to book them on a calendar and solve a lot of problems. The calls that need to be forwarded to the business owner can still be doing that, but they don't have to come in and do all this stuff manually, and people get handled a lot better than if they just had to leave a voicemail and get called back whenever the business was open again. So that's a lot of what we're doing. If you want to learn more about this and other AI automations and things that we're doing, comment down below that you want the free course. We have an entire free course about how to use High Level and get all this stuff set up. And I have a community that you can get access to as well. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.